Hi, dear army friend. Not just honey. Jungkook's love for his parents is overwhelming. They say all children love their parents. But not all children are able to prove it in silence, behind the spotlights of the stage, without having to shout, without having to boast. There is one name that manages to hide its affection in secret, in the silence of the night that no one hears, in the silent embrace that only the walls of its own house know. That name is Jungkook. Idols are known for their vocal power, tattooed bodies, and cold and mysterious expressions. But behind it all, the deepest love is hidden, a love that has never been shown on stage, a love that is not just a saying but a sacrifice, a love for his parents. No one knows, no one ever really realizes that behind the success of buying a luxury house worth more than 300 billion won, there is one story that makes anyone's heart melt. All eyes see that luxury as a symbol of success. All tongues talk about numbers and architecture. But nobody asked, who is the house really for? Why did Jungkook buy it in a place away from the hustle and bustle of other celebrities? And why, precisely when he was at the peak of fame and often abroad, the house was always awake, warm, and full of life? The answer began to unfold, and when the fact came out, tears could not be held back. Army knew Jungkook wasn't the type to show off. He is not a person who will broadcast his personal life for the sake of content. But one by one his silent track record begins to be discovered by his most devoted fans, and it all leads to one very moving knot. Jungkook's mansion was not built for himself. Not as a symbol of ego or simply an investment as many media assume. But the house is a gift, is a protector, is a palace for the two people he loves most, his father and mother. The first evidence emerged of an incident that was underestimated by the media, but heartbreaking for sensitive fans. While Jungkook was promoting globally and busy with a busy schedule in the United States, a report from a neighbor around his house said that a middle-aged man and a woman appeared to have been living in the house for months. At first, many thought it was a guard or a distant relative. But from a source who cannot be named, for privacy reasons, his true identity was revealed. They are Jungkook's parents. And when the truth comes out, it's like filling in pieces of a puzzle that has always been just a rumor. It was revealed that the stately home was designed from the start by Jungkook for the comfort and safety of his parents. He is directly involved in the selection of interiors, anti-noise materials, high-level safety technologies, and even the organization of natural lighting that supports the mental health of the elderly. No one knew that Jungkook learned directly from architects and senior home consultants just to create the best place for his parents. Not for YouTube content, not for the praise of the media, but purely out of love. The most surprising thing came from a staff member who once worked as a technician for the cooling system of the house. In a confession that has now gone viral in Korean online communities, he said, "That boy, he thought of everything. He said to us when installing the cooling system, don't let it get too cold. My mother catches cold easily. I thought he was just messing around. But he's serious. He asked for a stable temperature setting in all rooms, even the bathroom. She said, I won't always be here, but they should stay comfortable as if I'm hugging them." He never said this to the media. We were even asked to sign an NDA. Army, who has always loved Jungkook for his voice, good looks, and professionalism, is now in love once again for a much deeper reason. How can someone who looks cold and closed keep such a big love without ever boasting about it? How can a person who always shines brightly in the world choose to be dim in his own home so that his parents feel light in their old age? Jungkook's decision not to live full-time in the house also drew a lot of speculation. Some thought he had his own secret place. Some thought the house was too big for him. But the fact is surprising. He did build the house for her not to fully occupy. He would only come home when he had free time, just to make sure everything was going well. He prefers to stay in a small studio during rehearsals or in a hotel during promotions, but he makes sure that his parents do not lack anything in the magnificent house that he dedicated his whole heart to. What makes it all the more emotional is when a childhood friend of his appears on a local talk show and accidentally reveals that Jungkook has always had a dream of buying a house for his parents since he was 13 years old. Even before the debut, he said, "If I succeed, the first thing I will do is make a house for Amma and Appa. Not an ordinary house, but the palace," said his friend while holding back tears. And he proved it. But he never told anyone. He just works hard, stays quiet, and keeps going. I used to ask, why don't you just show off? Let people know you're a dutiful son. And he said, If it's love, there's no need to show it. They know. I know. Enough. Those words are chilling. Not a few fans who write these quotes on their profiles, on Instagram uploads, to become cell phone wallpapers. Because of an idol surrounded by luxury, Jungkook actually teaches the true meaning of love, not about how much we say it, but how quietly we keep it. Controversy began to surface. Some media questioned, why is this only revealed now? Is there a specific purpose? Is this part of the image strategy? But the army strongly denies the allegations, because there is not a single upload from Jungkook about the house. There is no vlog. There is no home tour. No video housewarming. All the information came from people around who could not restrain their admiration. Even the neighbors who had a chance to pass by Jungkook's parents admitted that they were a simple, friendly couple and never boasted of their son as a world star. And when someone from Jungkook's home interior team leaked that the idol refused to put pictures of himself on the wall of the house because, I don't want this house to be a museum about me. This is their home, not my stage, the world was silent. This is not just filial piety. It's not just love. This is a very deep form of respect for parents, from a child who knows that all his achievements are the fruit of the blessing and prayer of two hearts that loved him from birth. Now, the house stands firmly in the middle of the elite hills, guarded by the best technology, equipped with health facilities, therapeutic gardens, to a small studio where Jungkook sometimes plays guitar for his mother when he comes home. In the corner of the living room is hidden an old piano that his father used to buy with years of savings when Jungkook was a child and learning to pitch. Jungkook refused to replace the piano with an expensive model. He said, if I can be a great singer, it's because of these piano keys. I want them to stay here. Just like mom and dad should stay here. These are not made-up stories. It's real. And precisely because he had never voiced it, this grief felt stronger, more honest, deeper. He chose to love in silence, filial piety without a camera, and create the safest space for two figures who have sacrificed everything for his sake. Not just a boy, not just a good boy. Jungkook is a child who loves in the fullest sense. And in a glittering world like Korea's entertainment industry, where image often trumps essence, Jungkook's actions are a symbol that sincerity is not dead. That behind everything we see on the glass screen, there is still a caution that beats only for their parents. Now, ARMY loves him not only as an idol, but as a human being, as a child, as a figure who reminds us that no matter how successful we are out there, home is still where we come back, and parents are still the warmest palace we have to protect. And when the world asks, who is Jungkook really? Then the answer is not only BTS's golden magne, but the golden son, the golden child who proved that love does not need a stage.